What's going on, guys? Welcome back. This morning, this whole video series, it'll be a few different clips over the next maybe week, but today what I'm going to be working on is I just got the car actually all taped off, and now I'm going to spray the silver on the frame rails and some of the firewall, and that'll probably be it for this week. And then next week I'll take some more clips when we start doing the blue, and then finally after that's done, then I'll probably clear everything and then follow up with the final thing, which will be the black paint on the bottom. So let me show you kind of what I got right now. So got everything all covered off, and I like to use tin foil. So much easier than tape. You can kind of easily form it around stuff, so it helps just kind of tape everything off real good. Tape the windshield. We're not really spraying much past about here. So just kind of from here forward, I will kind of get this area. Eventually we are going to paint the entire windshield frame, but I want to actually get the windshield out first because our windshield is cracked. It needs to be repaired anyway. So we're going to pull that out later on, and then we'll kind of blend all that in and do all that silver too. But it's good enough for right now. So let's go ahead and get started. So again, here's the paint we're going to be using. So it's just some Rustoleum glitter paint. You can see just tons of sparkle. So it goes on pretty easy as long as it keeps working. It seems like the silver usually works pretty well. The blue is the one I think is just always having an issue. So, all right, so got a couple coats on. That paint goes super quick. So I'm actually short about one can. I'd like to do one more coat just because there were some areas where we had the primer, and this paint spray is super thin, doesn't have a lot of coverage, so it takes a lot of coats to really get it to match. So you can just see some kind of darker spots here on the firewall. Forget this bar, but on the firewall, that's where we had some primer. Even though it's really close, it still just takes a few coats. So everything else, like all this, looks really great, looks cool. Of course, there's no clear coat on it yet, so we'll do clear coat last, so that'll be next week. But once there's clear coat, it'll be super shiny and super sparkly. But yeah, it turned out pretty decent, so just got to get one more coat. I really like to hit these frame rails one more time, especially this side, because that really looks like it's still got some discoloration. So you're going to see that a lot, right? That'll be open on the car. So get that done. I'm happy with all this on top, looks fine. Just that bottom section, like I told you. And then we'll be good to go. And then let it dry, pull all this stuff off, get it back over. Usually it sits right there. Just so I can have my garage space back for the next week. All right, guys, so I just got done spraying the last coat. I think, just this firewall and then these two pieces of the frame rail, I think we did about 6 cans. So, they're buy one, get one half off. So I want to say we probably spent about $40 in spray paint just to kind of repaint all this and make it look good. But I think it does look really good. So now this is all, super sparkly. Now looks good. All that's good. Before with the engine in, we never had access really to all this, so this wasn't really fully painted. This looks a lot better too. So once this is all cleared, it'll really make it a lot shinier. Now I'll just wait a couple hours, let this all dry. I'll pull all this back apart and then slide around back over. And next week we'll get started with taping everything off again so that we can just paint the frame, and that's going to be blue. And then once that's done, then I'll kind of tape all the upper parts off and just kind of paint all this bottom stuff black. And then boom, hopefully next weekend we're going to be ready to drop that motor in. All right, guys, so after looking at all this, I decided that it's actually going to be easier to put clear coat on the silver right now while I still had it all wrapped up. So that's what I did. I just went ahead, put a couple coats of the clear on. So it's super sparkly, looking good, looking great. So next will be I'll kind of remove all this, and then next week I'll be able to just kind of easily like throw a blanket over this and be able to tape off and paint all this stuff. So should be pretty good to go. Looks awesome. Time to go swimming. Good morning, guys. Out here in the garage this morning. It's Tuesday, and we're gonna get started on taping off the car and painting this front cage. So we're gonna do first just a coat of some base blue because the sparkle blue is really transparent. So it would take about 1,000,000 coats if we didn't do a blue first. So we're just gonna do some blue over this, do the sparkle, and then follow that up with some clear coat. Either that'll be later today or tomorrow, but should be pretty simple. Just kind of tarp all this off and do some tape around the corners here, and we should be good to go. Also last night I did some measuring on our kind of where the bell housing meets up to the engine, to the clutch fingers, and then also on the side of the transmission here, like around the edge of the bell housing face to the inside of the slave cylinder. And we did confirm that we need a shorter or thinner slave spacer. So the one I think that Fab had originally gave us, I'm not sure what it's for, maybe it's for the Solstice or something. But anyway, I talked to Fabit last night. They said we need a 6mm shorter spacer for the Colorado. So they're going to ship that out today. Super fast. I mean, I talked to Fabit last night at like 9:30 at night, and the guy had already sent me a picture of the packaging already ready to go. So awesome guys. They're going to get that out to us. So we should have that by Friday, because the hope is this weekend we're going to be dropping in this motor and start to do the wiring for the engine, and hopefully we can get a first fire this weekend. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right, guys. So I went and got this thing taped off, got it all tarped, some painters, blankets, all that good stuff. So let's get back here. So now we are ready to throw down the first coat of blue. Guys, got the second coat of blue done, so the blue is complete. This is just the base coat of blue. Let's see, what did we use here? Just some kind of Rustoleum gloss deep blue. There we go. Okay, so next we'll be doing the glitter, but we'll let this dry. I'll probably let this dry for maybe an hour or so. Just make sure it's pretty good, and then we'll go back and hit it. Do a couple coats of the blue. Really, the blue just has to kind of cover. Like I said, it's pretty transparent, so as long as there's a bunch of good coverage of that glitter, sparkle stuff all over it, we're good to go. Probably 2 coats. All right, got the 2 coats of paint done with the sparkle, and all we have left to do now is just the clear coat, which I'm going to do. So I'll try to get a couple coats of clear. I only have 2 cans of clear, so hopefully it's enough. Should be enough. Should be fine. But yeah, you can see when you spray it, it's just kind of a flat, kind of rough texture. Tons of sparkle in it, and once clear coat goes on, it's going to look pretty awesome. So pretty excited to get it all untaped later and just kind of see how it looks against the silver. Should look pretty awesome. All right, fellas, so I just got done laying down the second and final coat of the clear coat. It was an enamel clear coat, and hopefully it looks like the camera's picking it up pretty good, but you can really see how this stuff just pops, you know, just lots of sparkle in there, just crazy. So looks really good, so I'm excited. So probably gonna let this dry for a couple hours, and then we'll come out here, pull all the cover off, and see how she looks against that silver. And then tomorrow I actually got to hit the bottom part where the engine's gonna go and just kind of retouch that up with the black. And I may even jack her up and do some black on the bottom of the car, at least on the front here. And then later on, we can always go back and get that all sprayed too. Just wanted to get you guys a peep with everything uncovered. So this is it. So I think the blue, having this all blue versus silver, it just looks so much better. It makes the front pop. And then once we have like the black headlights put back in, you know, and there's going to be a radiator behind here, I think that's going to pop a lot more, where it was kind of more hidden with the silver, just kind of blended in. So I think this is just going to look way, way, way more awesome. What do you guys think? Especially with the red on the wheels. Another thing we need to do eventually is paint the calipers. I'm just going to paint those red. But eventually. Maybe a winter project. All right, guys, it's the next day, and today I'm going to be doing the black. So we already got the silver, blues all done. Now I just got to, basically just want to kind of come back and kind of like cut this line a little bit so this is all black and looks all nice. And then I'm gonna have to do some taping off over here. I'd like to just kind of get some black paint all on the rack and all on the sway bar, just so it looks a little nicer. I'm also gonna jack the car up real high because I want to be able to get underneath the subframe and kind of spray all that black too, just so it looks good. Thinking eventually, if we ever get really bored and run out of stuff to do, if we ever replace the shocks and spring, we'll kind of pull this all off and we can kind of maybe polish these up a little bit or go get them bead blasted, these control arms, just so it looks a little nicer. Obviously our shock still works fine, but it's just looking ugly, so we'll probably eventually upgrade that, maybe get some FE5. I think that's what it's called, FE5 suspension. Oh, got to paint this too. Want that to look a little better. So just going to go ahead and do that. Should be pretty simple. Get that knocked out today. And then paint will be completely done. And then the next stuff that's going on this week is maybe later today, I just got to pull out this oil pan, the holly pan, to start to build it. Just have to put it all together, put in the baffles and everything, and then I can bolt it onto the motor. Then we're good to go. Then Lewis, my buddy Lewis, will be here Saturday, and we're going to be dropping the motor in and start doing wiring. Hopefully we can, with any luck, get the engine to fire and make sure it runs and all that good stuff. And then it'll be another probably weekend of work to make a whole custom harness for headlights, taillights, all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. So let's get to it. All right, so just giving you guys a little peek of the underside. So got the sway bar, the rack all painted. I used like a satin black, like a rust stop type Rustoleum paint. So all that's at least nice and painted. The whole underside of the car needs to be painted eventually, but I wanted to get this done so that way once the engine's in there, we're not having to like worry about taping off the engine or anything else. And then eventually, yeah, we'll go ahead and probably pull these covers like off the transmission and all that stuff, and then get all that painted. And we have to put in the backbone, all that good stuff. So let's get you an update on the top. All right, boys, here she is all painted up. Well, one thing is the rear crash bars are not painted yet. So eventually that's going to go blue, but that can go blue. I don't care if it's over the winter. It doesn't matter for this summer. Just had to get this done so we can get the motor in. But definitely think it looks awesome. We've also got the wipers are actually painted like the red, same as that bar back there if you can kind of see it. So I think that's going to look awesome. So check out this engine bay. All this ugly rust colored stuff's now painted black. It looks nice. Got a satin color. Even ended up painting this whole ABS module thing so it looks all sweet, but she's looking good. I know we're gonna be real sad because dropping this motor in is probably gonna get all dirty, fingerprints, all that crap, but it looks good. I'm pumped, man. The blue looks awesome. It looks super awesome now. Here's what it looks like a year later. Kind of ends up getting a little dirty, not so shiny, but we also haven't even really cleaned this thing, so we'll probably take some wax and grease remover and maybe even put some wax on here or something, but get it looking nice. But all this stuff's painted now. Super stoked with how it came out. Now we just got to get that motor in there. And that will be a whole different video. So I think that's going to be it for this one, guys. I'll probably make another video of just the holly pan, getting that all together. But this will wrap it up for all this paint.